Hi everyone, I'm Jay. And I'm Mike. And I'm Max Landis. And we're here with me. Oh, hi guys.
Oh, hi.
Here it's all happening.
It's all here.
Hi guys, before we start, I want to say they flew me out here on the Fox private jet to promote my upcoming film, Victor Frankenstein, and I brought a clip.
Oh.
So if you guys, I know you guys like to promote stuff, so if we could just roll the clip.
Okay, let's roll the clip.
You have strength and speed and stamina, far beyond that of any human. You could use those gifts in a war that you are already a part of. I go my own way.
Wow, that was amazing. What was it like to work with Aaron Eckhart?
Well, just every day was an adventure for me. Writing the scenes with the gargoyles, I was so excited to finally do a movie where Frankenstein fights gargoyles. And, that's when you think of Frankenstein, you think he's in the future fighting gargoyles.
I'm very excited to see someone actually, do Mary Shelley correctly for a change.
Right, finally.
Yeah, finally.
Well, I was trying to stay close to the original story, Matrix-esque action, Aaron Eckhart shirtless. These are all things from the pages of the book that I think have been forgotten in modern retellings of this story.
Right.
No one ever makes Frankenstein's monster sexy.
Like he is in the book. That was my
Right.
first masturbation experience. It was a school assignment.
I find Frankenstein very sexy.
So what's up, guys? I heard you guys love American Ultra. I was in my apartment, and I heard you guys did a review of it, and so I clicked it, and I was like, are they gonna mention me in this?
Well, you're why we saw it.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for mentioning our publicity budget, which was, I believe, the final count was $11 to advertise it as a stoner comedy, which it wasn't. So it didn't really find its market. But when you look at it, Ultra's like I don't know, do you guys want to talk about this?
I would like to, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it was interesting because the thing you guys quoted me on isn't what I said, really. When I talked about original film, I wasn't blaming the audience. I was trying to, because I don't care if people like or dislike my movies. As a screenwriter, you're completely separated from the process in a way that's crazy. That's more so than anyone outside the industry even knows. I mean, on most movies, you never even visit set, really. And so it was more for me that as a guy who tries, and you guys talk about this on Half in the Bag all the time, which is that everything's based on something now. And internally, it's getting harder and harder to find attention for movies that are original in as much as they aren't based on a Lego set or a show from the 80s or something like that. And almost every big studio level job is turning into an assignment. And this isn't the way it used to be. And people good old days all the time. And it's hard because I grew up in an entertainment industry household, and I watched it happen as a kid. I watched it get harder and harder to do original movies, and then by the time I became a screenwriter in my adult life, my dad's career kind of had already the stupids its way on, and
That was his peak, by the way.
that was his peak. That's his best film.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a great film. It's a great film.
Tom Arnold's best performance, too.
Can we get the clip of me in that movie
Are
right
you,
now?
are you in The Stupids? Yes. The worst thing about this is that now we have to watch The Stupids to find the scene.
I get bukkakied on in The Stupids.
What?
Yo.
Did you just say that?
This
Roll
is
the
a
clip.
children's film.
Roll the clip.
I'm so confused.
Note to self. I must buy handheld tape recorder. Then I will no longer be speaking into the garage door opener.
Some people can be so inconsiderate.
Is Randy Quaid in that?
No.
Who cares?
I don't know. I just
Christopher Lee's in it, though.
Christopher Lee?
Oh my God. Count Dooku himself. He's dead,
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
That's what I keep telling everybody.
That's what he's most known for, is The Stupids.
No, I thought he was most known for being Count Dooku.
Count Dooku?
Count Duke? I wish the character's name had a question mark at the end of it. So everybody...
He was Count Bukkake.
That's what he was in The Stupids.
Yeah.
My relationship with my dad is almost entirely, I've had a long, weird story with my dad. One of the weirdest things about being my dad's kid is that people assume stuff when you're someone's kid about what your relationship is with them. Because imagine, what do you guys have relationships with your dads that are good, maybe? Okay.
My dad's dead. Thank you.
My dad's a drunk. You have a better relationship with your dad.
But yeah, to stay on topic, we'll probably
That'll never happen, but
edit
we'll
that
try.
way down. But to stay on topic, what was funny is I went on this long thing on Twitter because American Ultra lost to literally only movies based on other things. And it came in 6th. And that's the marketing. That's clearly the marketing. I was never in a place where it wasn't the marketing. But for me, the discussion was more about what the fuck does this mean that that's the marketing budget we got compared to Insidious 2, compared to even a second Hitman movie. And it blew my mind because I'm in a place where I have this fantasy that someone's going to write a new Star Wars that won't be called Star Wars. But I know from being in these rooms all day, this is literally my job, that if a script with the budget Star Wars would have now, even if it was a great script, went across studio desks, they'd be like, this movie is too big of a risk. But the question becomes, where do movies that take risks even fit in now if they're not Birdman, if they're not a perfect, virtuosic execution of an idea?
Yeah. Well, my question, obviously, because you're looking at this from the inside perspective, we're obviously very much on the outside. So we watch a movie like that, and it's well, yeah, I want to see original movies. It's just, American Ultra didn't work for me specifically. But so when you were talking about that on Twitter and talking about original ideas, were you talking more specifically about larger movies, wide release movies?
Yes, wide release films.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because I was thinking I like horror films, and the last few years have been great for smaller independent horror movies. There's been a lot of really great stuff. So you're talking more.
They have and they haven't though. There's been a lot of high quality stuff produced for new distributor markets like Netflix and stuff. But the problem is those directors don't fucking break through. They don't turn into John Carpenter.
Right.
It's easier and easier to get your movie distributed and harder to get your movie seen.
Yeah.
If I just saw a movie the other week called Last Shift.
Oh, that's great. I just watched it.
Yeah, the cop movie. It's kind of great.
Yeah.
It's tense.
It's simple and it's a nice premise.
It's got kind of a dumb ending, but they all do. But it's really good, but that's not it should be a stepping stone movie.
Yeah.
And it's not anymore. His last movie was also on Netflix. And it's it's frustrating for me as a creator because I watch it happen. I made a mistake, which is I ultimately should have been an independent creator. I should have been in the independent scene trying to make movies, but I went the studio route because Chronicle originally was going to be an independent movie. We were talking about it as a smaller thing. But then when we got all the offers on it, it was well, we have to take this now because I didn't know how it worked yet. And now, having worked in that system, it's a system. You guys make jokes about the advertisers and stuff. The Jack and Jill video is one of my favorite things I've ever seen because it's too real. They really do think about this stuff and they talk to you about it. And as a screenwriter for hire, you are there not to do any of your own stuff. You're there to do their stuff and try to find a peg to fit that hole. And that's not who anyone wants to be. I mean, imagine if James Cameron came out of this system. It'd be bizarre.
Yeah.
I
think a lot of the films and the filmmakers that we grew up on, your dad or Joe Dante, and you look at Joe Dante, this last movie was Burying the X, and it's this tiny little movie, and it's
God, that was terrible.
But he was doing, filmmakers like that, and how they have this track record, but they can't get movies made at that scale.
Well, that's
anymore.
what's so funny about whenever people talk to me online about your dad can just do this. It's man, no, he can't.
Yeah.
All of that generation, all those guys were guys with big opinions.
Yeah.
And if there had been Twitter in the 80s, it would have been a nightmare for the John Carpenters. And what is about to happen? Is there about to be a hug?
I think Mike's about to knife you.
Okay.
Well,
What the fuck was that?
oh my God! Disappeared in my hand.
Is there a ghost in the studio?
Well, okay. You have smaller budgeted movies like Chronicle.
But Chronicle isn't a smaller budgeted movie. Chronicle's $12 million.
In the
What,
grand
what was
scheme
that
of
in
things,
comparison to American Ultra?
Half.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like American Ultra's bigger because we had movie stars.
Right.
And by the way, can I just say, the thing everyone's scared about right now and no one knows how to deal with yet is that movie stars don't do anything anymore. There used to be a formula, a fake formula, for what would be a successful movie. And the job of a film executive at a studio is to protect an investment, is to make sure that money goes, that's what a creative exec does. All the notes that writers complain about and stuff is just them trying to do their best to create a layer of protection around the investment of millions of dollars into a piece of art, which is already pretty hard to get people to do. The problem is all of the qualifications for what would have made a movie make money have fallen away into fucking, it's like the scene in Wolf of Wall Street. It's a weasel, it's a wazzle, it's fairy dust. It's all been proven to be bullshit. And even even whether a movie's good has stopped mattering. Like American Ultra was like split down the middle on Rotten Tomatoes. Some people really loved it, some people really hated it, but it got better reviews than Insidious 2 and Hitman by like a lot. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if American Ultra is the best movie in the world, the worst movie in the world. No one knows what makes movies successful anymore, so they just bank on IP. But then Gem and the Holograms just ate shit. So it's become this thing. Thank you, Angel.
What the hell is happening?
Did that guy just walk through the fourth wall?
I don't even know who that was.
I don't know if I would call Gem and the Holograms a valuable IP, but
It's a name. Like they're just dredging up everything.
can I bring up the Pan?
Pan.
Where it's like, I knew that was going to flop horrifically even before it did. It's just like, that's going to flop.
Yeah.
And that's Peter Pan, you know, it's like
I mean, can I tell you what the problem was? They didn't have the Inception bong in the trailers.
That's true. That's true.
They didn't have the Inception.
That's how you know that a movie is exciting.
Can I just say how depressingly real that is? Like, the problem is that if there isn't a clear big question in the trailers, movies don't make money anymore in like a real way unless people go, oh, I've seen that before. The NWA, like, Straight Outta Compton could have had the worst trailers in the world and still done amazing business. Not quite as good as it did. It had a great trailer. But it still would have done amazing business because, oh, there's going to be someone playing Dr. Dre. I remember Dr. Dre. I remember who Ice Cube is. I'm going to go see that movie because I'm curious about this. Paul Giamatti's an actor. That guy looks just like Ice Cube. Oh, it's his son. You know, like, it's smart. And then I think it's an okay movie. But, like, it's a scenario wherein every guarantee has fallen away. Every guarantee doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And what I was doing in my tweets, if you read the full ones, was not blaming the audience for the failure of a movie. You can't do that. That's nonsense. I was going, what?
I blame the audience for some movies being successful.
Yes.
There you go.
The Paranormal Activity movies.
I love the first Paranormal Activity.
Okay.
Well, I saw it, to be fair, I saw it in like the perfect incubator for me to love it. I went to a screening of it at DreamWorks. You know the videos?
Was it a cloud of marijuana smoke?
No, that would have gone to sleep.
Okay.
It's very boring if you're high.
Half the movie is people sleeping.
Yeah,
You just be like, I want to do that.
No, I saw it and I hadn't been told what it was about or what it was.
Okay.
There was a camera on the audience. You know in the Paranormal Activity trailers, they didn't show any of the movie, they just showed audiences?
Yeah.
I'm in one of those audiences.
Okay.
Of like...
Roll the clip.
Roll clip.
Can we find this online somewhere?
Actually, possibly, yeah.
Okay.
I've never gone and circled myself, but...
Did you throw your popcorn up in the air?
No, but I saw that happen to
Because
people.
that would have been really embarrassing.
I feel it breathing on me.
To go back to...
Oh yeah, you're talking about Paranormal Activity. Oh well, no, you were talking before that. I interrupted.
How
you
I
with
ended
Paranormal
up here was that it made me sad because I felt like, You guys are guys I admire. You are. But the reason I reached out is because the Plinkett reviews and all of them, the Titanic review, all of it is so important to me in my life that I had this very defensive reaction. Like you were telling me about, and I don't normally have a defensive reaction to people being dicks to me. People tweet me shit about the Twilight Zone accident every day. Every day. People.
I guess that's the most obvious troll tactic.
Yeah, but also just now everyone says I'm a whiner about American Ultra when I didn't whine about American Ultra. If you read my thing, I just went like, hey, are people like, is the conversation is going to happen? Because it's already been brought up to me. I have another action movie that is an original idea, not an IP, and people are like, well, American Ultra, didn't do very well. And other writers who I know in LA, American Ultra hurt them too, because it didn't make money. But it has nothing to do with the movie or their scripts or my scripts. It's all marketing. Nothing else matters. All that matters is your trailer and how many people see it. And even that doesn't matter anymore, because unless you got the Jurassic Park theme playing during the trailer or the Star Wars theme, people don't fucking come out as much. There's this fantasy that I encounter again and again when I venture outside of the entertainment industry, where people assume it's all one thing. Your movie failed because you made a bad movie. Your movie succeeded because you made a good movie. Yeah, man, Transformers 4, great movie. And so like, it defies logic, and everyone looks for this logic that isn't there. And then the weirdest thing that happens is the script. As a writer, people talk about the script in reviews. And it's like, give me a great line of dialogue from any movie you've ever seen.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough.
With a great actor and the right editing, that could have been a good line.
Well, that's the original Star Wars. It was completely changed in editing, so.
But that could have been a good line.
Sure.
A terrible script can metamorphosize instantaneously into a good movie. And that drives me crazy when people in reviews, and you guys do it all the time, but I mean, like, there's no other way to talk about the story than to say...
I was going to say, like, what is the cutoff? Because you say, the script can change a lot, but so can, the direction of the movie, so can the editing of the movie.
So can everything.
Exactly. So it's like, what is fair to discuss, and what do you think is unjustified in critiquing a movie?
Yeah, there's a lot of different working parts that the final outcome ends up changing, but how much of your script do you think was changed?
In American Ultra?
Yeah.
15%.
15, okay.
I mean, like 15 due to cuts mainly, because in editing, as a writer, you can't control editing and also just start tone, but like 15. On other movies that I've had made, up to 70%, and without a rewrite.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to ask, because you were mentioning like when there's rewrites and someone else has to get a credit for it.
No, that's one of the elements. But you have to keep in mind that a script can change in a multitude of ways arbitrarily. In editing, a movie that you are like, there's no fucking character development, they jump right into the action. And then you find out there were character development scenes, but they cut them. Maybe they sucked, or maybe they were great, but a test audience said they were slow. It becomes this like blur. And so when you talk about like what's fair to critique, the answer is none of it. Like you either do all of it or none of it, because you can't live in a perfect world. I can't, as a writer, live in a perfect world where you only give the script compliments if you like the movie.
Right.
I don't know, man. It's such a... I mean, you guys have made movies now, but you guys have total control when you guys are making movies.
I was just going to say that echoes Feeding Frenzy.
Well, even with... Well, sure, yeah, we changed a lot of that movie in editing, but yeah, even on our level, it's still, like, we have control, but it's still, there's so many elements. It's what I always say is it's like... It's just this constantly changing monster, and you have to kind of ride that, because it's nothing but an endless series of compromises. Well, and that's with complete control. We just don't have any money.
Imagine the compromises are someone taking away the monster and bringing it back, and now it has AIDS. No, the thing that's interesting for me is I made the mistake of doing shit for YouTube and putting my face out there, because my personality is very outspoken, and like I did that back in the day very foolishly, because now when I say stuff, I worked at a comic book store for years. I love movies. I argue with movies with people all the time, except for now when I say shit on Twitter and shit like, oh, that movie sucked, Everybody goes, you're saying you could have done better, you little bitch? I'm like, no. No.
Well, we get that too, where it's like, you guys talk about movies being bad, but your movies suck. It's like, it's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
It's just appreciate. It's like the second you make yourself available, people are waiting to spit in your face.
Most people don't even know the names of screenwriters, and yet anytime you say anything, it's like news. And we sort of capitalized on that with the American Ultra Review, because it's like, wow, let's go see this movie because of this person who's very outspoken. But it's like...
Well, I appreciate you paying to see it.
We did pay to see it.
Thank you, you're the only ones.
We were one of the 5 people that paid to see it.
Oh.
Globally.
I guess.
It's interesting. The weirdest thing about American...
Don't tell them that we snuck in. What?
What's weird, and the thing that's so ephemeral and hard to explain, is that the failure of American Ultra didn't help me. It certainly didn't help other people who are trying to do non-IP ideas. Because when I said original, this dumb fucking thing happened where the internet didn't understand what I meant was non-IP. They thought, original! Like I'm such a genius that I came up with the fucking Bourne Identity. It's like, it was so embarrassing to see people be like, oh, it's just a stoner movie in Jason Bourne. What's original about that? That it's not based on something. It was just like, put a gun in my mouth and blow my brains at the back of my head while someone who loves me watches. And
before you even said that, there's comments under the video suggesting that you do that.
Oh God, no. I guarantee you guys are total sellouts for even talking to me, which is so embarrassing.
That's true.
It's true. It's very true. We're making a lot of money having you here.
That's true. Fox gave you that big block of gold.
So tell us more about Victor Frankenstein coming out November 25th.
The thing is, like we talk about, like you were talking about, like you watch a movie and you think about all the people that are involved in making it. We think about that because we're a little more aware of those things. And like, I think I don't want to say forgiving, but with like the Fantastic Four movie, that was certainly, when I was giving my final assessment of the movie, I was taking into consideration all the things that you hear about that
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, you hear about the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. General audience, they don't know any of that stuff.
Right.
So it's like, I can't even imagine like watching a movie as just a movie, like especially something like Fantastic Four.
The more I've gotten into the film industry, from being a little kid and seeing my dad be more and more frustrated, and then becoming an adult and finding myself in this machine that is occasionally this glorious, beautiful thing that everyone thinks it is, and is occasionally this labyrinth of decisions and ideas that merge together where, your movie doesn't come out and you end up having to fly to Milwaukee to kill these 2 guys after being interviewed by them.
What do you think he's talking about?
What did he say?
But
I stopped listening like 20 minutes ago.
it's okay, everyone did. Check the comments. But it's interesting. It gets blurry.
Oh, yeah.
It gets blurry. And what's nice is that there are guys like you who take that and make it into its own form of entertainment. Because reviews, the only crime a review can really have is being boring. And I've yet to see a boring review from you guys. And this is where it comes out that I'm just a fanboy and that's why I'm here.
People are pointing out our boring reviews right now.
Oh God, are they listing them?
Yeah.
Jay, our YouTube subscribers have gone down by half.
Oh my God.
The fact that there are good movies is nuts. Because every scene could be ruined by the wrong costume. The wrong costume can fuck an entire movie. Everything has to be working synergistically and in a way that's so ethereal and separate from anything you can pin down that, like, when you see Birdman or this movie I just loved so much, Wild Tales, and everything works, as a filmmaker and as someone behind the scene, I don't think like, his technique. I just think, wow, holy shit, I'm so lucky that I got to see that movie. It like breaks down. I don't know what they paid Cameron to say that Genesis was a good movie, but gosh, it must have been a lot.
I want to say he endorsed Terminator 3 as well.
You know what? I don't hate Terminator 3.
Really?
It's not good.
No, it's not.
But it's better than Salvation and
He hated
Genesis.
Terminator 3? He was like,
In retrospect, I think he did, but when it was coming out, I want to say he endorsed it.
Terminator 3 has a thing in it that I kind of like, which is I like the idea
Is it
that
to talk to the hand part? Because that's hilarious.
No, it's the star glasses.
It's the star glasses, because gay.
Because when it's gay, and then I'm laughing. Yo, in the Jurassic World, when the Velociraptor with the star glasses.
That never happened.
There was the part, though, when the T-Rex and the Velociraptor gave each other like a nod, where they're like...
But no, they give each other like a fist bump.
Yeah, basically.
The final fight scene of Jurassic Park is literally a little kid going, and then,
Yep,
like that.
yep.
And you know what? It's the best scene in the movie.
I love to.
That moment is like, sure, all the dinosaurs, the animal kingdom team up to defeat the I-Rex. Which, by the way, just made me feel bad for the I-Rex, who doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
Right. It's
The
just
fact that I know it's called the I-Rex is making me so...
I honestly didn't know that's what I thought it was called something else.
Indominus
Rex.
Yeah. It has the ability to cloak itself.
Yeah.
For one scene, and then it's never brought up again. It also has the ability to know that it has a homing device inside of its body.
I ripped it out.
And he rips it
That
out.
was
Somehow
so
he knows it's
awesome.
in there.
But no, well, they deliver the line like it's like this really portentous moment. They go, because they remember when he put it in.
Or even knowing what that is. Like, why would you think to rip that out?
Because it was smart. Look, quit making fun of Jurassic World. It was fucking awesome.
I like the way your pronunciation, Jurassic World.
What is all this talk about Jurassic World?
Oh, it's not very good. That's the problem with it.
Thank you for having me in here. What is that? You have like that big machine over there with the spinning blades? The sign that says climb in?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been malfunctioning. We were hoping maybe you could help us with it.
You want me to like reach my head and arm in there and try to like...
Yeah, there's something jammed in there.
Yeah.
And, Jay's going to stand by a big switch that says on and off.
I'm going to make sure that it doesn't get switched on.
Yeah, he's basically there just to prevent it from being switched on.
Yeah.
What's that thing that comes up from behind? Because that looks like it would push me further in.
That's exactly what it would do if it was switched on, which I will prevent from happening.
Okay, well, I'll go get it.
Okay,
and Rich
great.
Evans with the mop and the bucket, he's just there for janitorial purposes. He's going to do it. Go, go, go. Thank you for watching our interview with Max Landis.